Yeah, I mean, she's really good tennis player. Goes for her shots, takes the ball early, rips. Being a lefty is always tricky, competes really well. I mean, obviously she's beaten a lot of top players this week. I don't really think she needs me to tell her that she's a great player, that we're not going to see enough of her, but we definitely are. And she proved that.
What an unforgettable week it has been at Indian Wells Open. Even though the tournament has now ended for Alex Eala, the discussion surrounding her is only beginning. Because when a player like Jessica Pegula steps forward to defend you, to publicly support you, and to passionately explain how exceptional you are, it signals that the tennis world is paying close attention. And that is precisely what happened after Eala's defeat in the round of 16 at Indian Wells. Pegula did not hold back in her remarks. She spoke openly and every word carried weight. Let's rewind for a moment because this story deserves the full context. Alex Eala arrived at Indian Wells with confidence and purpose. She did not slip quietly into the draw, she arrived ready to compete. She stepped onto the court determined to prove something and showed everyone watching that she belongs on this stage. Her victories throughout the week against elite opponents, including players like Coco Gauff, sent a powerful message. Those wins demonstrated that the young athlete from the Philippines is far more than a feel-good headline. She is a legitimate rising force in women's tennis. And when you start defeating names of that caliber, people begin to talk. The crowds grow larger, the atmosphere becomes louder, and the excitement builds with every match. Indian Wells felt that surge of energy throughout the entire week. But tournaments are demanding, and eventually the round of 16 produced a result that did not go her way. She lost. In that moment, many people were watching carefully to see how she would respond. How does a young competitor handle defeat when the entire tennis world is watching? When thousands of Filipino supporters have traveled across the globe to California to cheer her on? When the pressure is intense and the cameras capture every second? That moment reveals true character. And Alex Eala revealed hers in a way that impressed everyone present. She did not rush off the court. She did not disappear down the tunnel, leaving her fans wondering what happened. Instead, she remained on the court and acknowledged every single supporter who had made the long journey to stand behind her.
The whole crowd was against me, and I was like, what on earth is going on? Like, where did these people come from? And then week after week, as she has done well and established herself as a really good player on tour, they all come out to support her. And so I think we saw that in Australia when it was kind of overcrowded. They put her on a two.
She looked directly at them, acknowledging their presence with sincere appreciation, and carried herself with a level of poise and dignity that even some of the sport's biggest stars struggle to maintain on their best days. That moment, Alex Eala standing on court and waving to her supporters after a difficult defeat, is an image that will remain in people's minds for a long time because it perfectly represents who she is. It reflects the kind of champion she already appears to be, even before the trophies begin stacking up. And Jessica Pegula noticed every bit of it. She has seen that same character every time Eala walks onto a tennis court. After that loss, Pegula spoke openly and passionately, sharing her perspective without hesitation. She made it very clear that a single round of 16 result does not define Alex Eala's future. One match on one day cannot erase what this young athlete has already achieved or what she is capable of accomplishing in the years ahead. Pegula emphasized that anyone following women's tennis today can clearly recognize the enormous potential Eala is bringing to the WTA Tour, and it is difficult to argue with that assessment. The impact is obvious. Pegula talked about the vibrant energy Eala brings whenever she competes. She explained that from the moment Eala appeared on the professional stage, she carried something unique with her. Fresh excitement, contagious enthusiasm, and a genuine love for both the sport and the fans who come out to support her. Pegula said she has enjoyed watching Eala grow and develop as a competitor and emphasized that everything we are witnessing right now is only the beginning. Just the beginning. Think about that for a moment. The incredible scenes at Indian Wells Open this week. The buzzing crowds, the thrilling matches, the atmosphere surrounding her appearances represent only the early chapters of what Alex Eala could bring to the sport. Pegula even added that she would love to invite Eala onto her podcast to sit down and discuss the attention and excitement she is currently generating across the WTA landscape. Because when a player begins attracting the kind of crowds and emotional support that Eala inspires, it matters for the entire game. It elevates women's tennis, draws in new audiences, and deepens the passion of longtime fans. Pegula clearly understands that influence and seems to genuinely respect what Eala represents, not only as a talented athlete, but also as a vibrant personality and a powerful symbol for her people.
I played her when she kind of broke out last year in Miami, and I'm from there, and the whole crowd was against me, and I was like, what on earth is going on? Like.
Speaking of personality, Jessica Pegula also made a point of highlighting how impressively Alex Eala is managing the sudden surge of fame and attention surrounding her. And to be honest, that kind of spotlight is incredibly difficult to handle. When you become a national icon, when an entire country rallies behind you, and when millions of viewers follow every match and every movement you make on the court, the pressure can be overwhelming. Yet Pegula explained that Eala is carrying that responsibility in a remarkable way. She approaches it with elegance and humility. Her appreciation for supporters feels authentic, visible, and sincere, and even after a defeat she maintains a level of composure that reveals a great deal about her character. When you compare that to some situations we have witnessed elsewhere in professional tennis, the difference becomes even clearer. Fans have all seen how certain high-profile competitors react when they lose matches they expected to win. A notable example came during the French Open final when Coco Gauff produced a remarkable comeback against Aryna Sabalenka. Rather than fully crediting Gauff for her performance that day, Sabalenka suggested afterward that the result happened mainly because she herself played below her level. When someone frames an opponent's victory that way, focusing on personal mistakes instead of acknowledging the other player's excellence, it reveals a great deal about mindset and perspective. That is exactly why the contrast with Alex Eala's attitude stands out so clearly. Her sportsmanship, maturity, and respect for both fans and competitors feel refreshing and have earned admiration from many people throughout the tennis world.
Not because she played incredible, just because I made all of those mistakes from, if you look from the outside, kind of like from an easy balls.
This is exactly why athletes like Jessica Pegula continue to stand up for Alex Eala. Pegula is not only complimenting her skills on the court, she is actively backing her and speaking in her support. And this did not begin just this week. Think back to the Australian Open earlier in the season when Eala was attracting huge crowds, yet the WTA Tour was not placing her on larger courts during the early rounds. Pegula voiced her opinion about it at the time as well. She publicly supported Eala, explaining that she deserved to compete on bigger stages so her supporters could actually be there and so she could feed off that energy. Pegula recognized that the situation felt unfair and chose to speak up about it. That is what a genuine ally looks like, someone who truly believes in what Alex Eala represents and is willing to say it openly.
Is the match that I was looking at, and there was people like wrapped around the stadium just trying to get in, which is pretty crazy. And I mean, it's cool to see and it's exciting, but obviously, for fan experience, I don't know because I'm not living that same experience. But hopefully, the event can.
Eala, that's been a talk, and which is understandable. There's some players coming from respective countries, like she's coming from Philippines, which is now a big deal. She's been the biggest ever, tennis player from that country, which is a big country, and there's a big interest. So things like that happen. I mean, it's you could argue that it was, maybe a poor schedule, and maybe they could schedule him on a bigger court. Yes, but.
Indian Wells Open may be over for Alex Eala, but her journey is only getting started. The next stop is the Miami Open, a tournament that holds special meaning in Eala's career because it was one of the stages where the tennis world first truly noticed her. It was the moment when fans and analysts began to realize that this young athlete from the Philippines was not just talented, she was something truly unique. Now she returns to Miami with renewed motivation. She will arrive determined, energized, and focused on reminding everyone exactly what she is capable of achieving. And her supporters, the passionate fans who filled the stands in California and cheered her through every match, will be right there again. They will travel to Miami because that is what this fan base does. They show up again and again, and Eala never fails to acknowledge and appreciate that loyalty. As Jessica Pegula said perfectly, one defeat does not define Alex Eala. What defines her is the way she competes, the way she carries herself, the respect she shows to her supporters, and the impact she is already making on the WTA Tour. Women's tennis is stronger with Alex Eala in it, and the most exciting chapters of her story may still be ahead. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think about Pegula strongly supporting Eala after her Indian Wells loss? Do you agree that one result should never define a young player with clear world-class potential? Has Alex Eala already proven she belongs among the biggest names on the WTA Tour, or do you want to see more before placing her in that category? And what did you think about the way she handled the defeat, staying on court to acknowledge her fans and showing grace even in disappointment? Share your thoughts in the comments, and tell me this as well. Do you believe Alex Eala will bounce back in Miami and make an even bigger statement on the tour?